Hello, boys and girls and Cougar parents. We're going to take a look at the second part of our study guide. We have two problems I'm going to go over with you. One is just finding the missing side of a right triangle using the Pythagorean theorem. And the second problem is a word problem. Okay, let's take a look at both these problems and practice them together. Okay, boys and girls, let's use the Pythagorean theorem to find the missing side of this right triangle. Okay, the first thing though, what we need to do is when we look at this triangle, be careful. We know that the Pythagorean theorem is a square plus b square is equal to c square. And what we get in the habit of, we just want to take the two pieces of information that we have and plug it into a and b. And that might not be true because when I look at this triangle here, I see that the hypotenuse is always across on the right angle. They gave us side C here. Okay, so we could call this A and this B, but side C, they told us what the hypotenuse is. So when we go to plug in the information, our numbers into our formula, we need to put the numbers in the right place. Okay, so I'd say A is 2.7, and I'm going to have to square that, plus B, which I don't know what that is. I don't know what side B is. And then C, my hypotenuse, is 6.5, and I have to square that. So let's do a little math. 2.7 times 2.7. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 4 is 18. Put a 0 there. 2 times 7 is 14. Carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus the 1 is 5. I add this up. I get 9. I get 12, carry the 1, 1 and 2 and 5 is 7. I have two decimal places there, so it's going to be 7.29. 7.29 plus b squared is equal to 6.5 times 6.5. 5 times 5 is 25, carry the 2. 5 times 6 is 30, plus the 2 is 32. Put the 0 there as a placeholder. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry the 3. 6 times 6 is 36 plus 3 is 39. Add things up. 5, 2, 12. Carry the 1, 4. And I have two decimal places in my problem, so I need to have two decimal places in my answer. So that's 42.25. Okay, the next step is I want to solve the equation. Okay, and the first step is isolating the variable, and the first inverse operation would be minus 7.29, and what I do to one side I have to do to the other side. Okay, that cancels that out. I bring down my b square is equal to, I've got to do some regrouping here. 15 minus 9 is 6. Got to do a little more regrouping. 11 minus 2 is 9. Bring down the, got to do more regrouping. 11 minus 7 is 4. Bring my 3 down. So b squared is equal to 34.96, which is not a perfect square. Okay, I need to know what the square root of 34.96 is to the nearest tenth. Well, I know it's going to be between the perfect square of 25 and 36, which is the difference somewhere in between 5 and 6. So it's going to be 5 and some fraction. Okay, my numerator is going to be the difference between these two numbers, 34.96 minus 25. Okay, so I'm going to get 0.96. I'm going to regroup. It's going to be 9.96. And then I need to get my denominator by subtracting these two numbers, 36 minus 25, which is going to be 11. Okay, so what I'm going to end up getting here is 5 and 9.96 elevenths. Okay, and that's a funky fraction. I'll tell you right now, that's going to round to be approximately, it's going to be 5.9. So this would round to the nearest tenth. It's going to be 5.9. All you'd have to do is change this fraction into a decimal, which is going to be approximately 9/10. If you were to take 9.96 and divide it by 11, you're going to get an answer that's very close to 9/10. So there is my final answer in estimating to the nearest tenth. Okay, here we have a word problem. We're applying the Pythagorean theorem to real life. Okay, if Ted is standing 35 meters from Fred, and Fred is holding a 50-meter long, is holding a line that's 50 meters long with a kite tied to it directly above Ted. How high is the kite? Okay, so we've got Ted here. He's 35 meters from Fred. Ted also has a kite here that is that's 50 meters apart from him on a horizon, on a horizontal line. And if we drop and make a right triangle here, we can figure out what the height is between the kite, since it's directly above Fred. Okay, so there we go. And we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. We'd say a square plus b square is equal to c square. I'm going to call this A and this B, and this over here, that's my hypotenuse, so that would be C. Okay, A is unknown, B would be 35, and C would be 50. Okay, so I have A squared plus 35 times 35 which is going to be 1,225, and 50 times 50 is going to be 2,500. Okay, I want to isolate the variable a, so I have to subtract 1,225 from both sides. That leaves me with a squared is equal to, I've got to do some regrouping here. 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 2 is 7, 4 minus 2 is 2, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So it's going to be 1,275. I need to find the square root of both of those, okay? Okay, and I know the square root of a squared is going to be a, and this here, what this is going to be, I'm going to have to, let me see. Okay, well I know the square root of 1,275 has to be between, well it looks like, I know that 1,225 is the square root of 35, so it's going to be between 1,225, which is 35, and the square root of, I'm going to guess what, 36, and I think 36 times 36 is 1,296. Okay, so this number, whatever the square root of 1,275 is, it's going to fall between these two perfect squares. It's going to be greater than 35 but less than 36. So it's going to be 35 and some fraction. So I need to find the numerator by subtracting or finding the difference between these two numbers. Okay, and that's 1,275 minus 1,225. It's going to give me 50. And then I find the denominator by finding the difference between these two numbers, which would be 1,296 minus 1,275. Okay. Whoops, sorry. It's 1,225. Let's get that right. So 6 minus 5 is 1, and 9 minus 2 is 7. So there we have it. My answer is going to be 35 and 51/71. But if I round to the nearest tenth, I need to take 50 and divide it by 71. Okay, 71 is going to go into 50 about 7 times, because it's going to be, 7 times 7 would be 49. So 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 7 is 49. I subtract, have to do some regrouping. 10 minus 7 is 3, 9 minus 9, so that's it. Then I bring a 0 down right there, and 71 goes into 30 0 times. I can stop right there. I'm going to say It's approximately 35.7. There is my answer to the nearest tenth. Well, boys and girls, as always, I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions about the study guide on any of the two problems that we did, or any problems that were not covered in this video, please bring them to class tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.